Well, hello. Just a quick video about safety. Okay, so I've been to quite a few countries, about 24, and I've been to quite a few of very many times. And the worst thing to do is go out in the evening. I think basically I've never been mugged myself in all the time I've been out. I've flown at night a few times. Basically, if you're on your own, especially, you don't go out at night in the dark places. Or if you do, you know the area quite well by the day. You're going to scout around a little bit in here and there. And if you're scouting around during the day, you want to look for security cameras and places of safety, like police stations and bona fide places, sort of posh places, bona fide places, where people might be interested in helping you if you have a problem. Specifically, a sort of area. One thing I hate particularly, probably won't happen to you if you're travelling on your own necessarily, but I do particularly, I'm worried about girls who go to the toilets and have a big gossip and a big chat and a big chinwag, and they don't realise who's actually listening, and that is quite a big problem if you're going to ventilate a toilet and start talking about how much money you got and where you're going to go, where you're going to stay tonight, and what guy you fancy in the bar, and didn't you think he was dishy, and you're soon going to have a big problem. I know it's just generally from thinking about it. I'm a bit of a sleuth really when thinking about sort of security and welfare. That's my sort of aim of business really, as a sort of a guide. If I can guide people, then that's how it goes. You must be extremely careful of the area. It's a total area. One I found very early on in my tourism career, about 83. I'm showing my age away a little bit. I went to Canada, and I took a plane most of the way there to Smithers in British Columbia. Fantastic place, fantastic. Canada's brilliant, fantastic. Went about May time. I overstayed my welcome quite considerably, and when I did come back, I come back by coach. Well, when you get on the coach, you think, well, there could be something on the coach here, a bit dodgy, be careful. But there's three aspects or four aspects, a little bit different in '83 with the mobile phones. But all it needs really is somebody to see you get on the coach, and they might know, they know the route probably, and they know where you're going to get off or get on, or get off and get on, and they don't need to have anybody on the coach nowadays, or whatever, to keep an eye on you, see where you're going, to watch you, to stalk you. So, and basically, that's what happens. Is you get on the coach, you might show your ticket to somebody, and somebody will phone ahead and say there's a girl or a man on the coach, and he's going to get off at Vancouver or whatever, and you'll be followed, or somebody will be waiting for you in Vancouver, basically. Whoever you're likely to meet on the coach. You might think you're in a safe group, but you're not. You won't be in a safe group because they've followed you, and they've been exploiting you at the other end anyway. So you have to be careful of that, I'm afraid. That is an old one, very old, nearly as old as me, and you have to also be careful if you go to casinos and stuff like that. And if you're seeing casinos, not that you're going to throw your money around, but just because you've gone there, it means you've got an attitude that you might have a little bit of money, or might have something in the bank, like a back or something, or whatever. And there's always ploiters there, isn't there, in casinos, young girls, or even croupiers, men, or as we get female croupiers too, but checking and watching, and they're a bit vampirish. Talking about vampires, you get the people who tell you drugs, and they come up to you and say that, do you fancy this drug, or do you fancy something different to make you feel happy or something, and you'll see that their girlfriends, it might be a male, and their girlfriends be over and say, oh, go on, and they're vampires really. They've actually been taking these drugs, and they're actually doing that to get the money to get more drugs because they're hooked on it. They're vampires, so you have to be a little bit careful there. And that's another easy one to look at, to spot. Okay, one actual topical and a special one I can say you can really still quite clear of. I'm talking too fast, aren't I? Is when you pay your bill at a hotel or whatever, always pay by Barclaycard or some card where it has a Visa, which means that your card is guaranteed. Your bills, your payment is actually guaranteed against fraud or theft or deception. And basically, you'll find that in that respect, you'll virtually get your money back if you're defrauded. Even if you come back to your own country, you get the bill and you say, "Well, I don't agree with that." That's happened to me before. I can't tell you how foolish I've been here and there with other bills, but I mean, I've always thought to myself, I'll clear that when I get home. And in some instances, you don't actually get around to thinking about it so quickly. And that's happened to me. That's one disaster that's happened to me. Well, it wasn't too bad, but it was a disaster really. It's a silly thing. But so basically, it's girls talk in the toilets, casinos, buses, coaches, trains, in whatever. I don't know about taxi rides, which might be the same. Usually taxi rides are very good actually, I think. Dark places at night, strange areas you don't know, drugs, and you've got to look out for these spy cameras and that, which are useful to you in your safety, especially if you're walking down the road and you're quite happy and not really thinking, just taking in the buildings and scenery and that. You can actually have a lot of problems with people nicking things off you or coming up to you, approaching you. So it's always best to ask a policeman if you're feeling good, feeling happy, and going down the road. See a policeman, any policeman, or anybody, justice of the peace or whatever, or a clergyman or something, anything like that. Just have the time of the day. He's a loyal subject generally. He's in the area. He's local, and he's a friend. He's a comrade. He's a buddy, like me. Hopefully, he's a buddy, and he will help you in knowledge of the area. So I hope he would. Anyway, or she would. So anyway, that's about me. Sorry I speak too quick. Sorry I speak too fast, especially if you can't catch up with the English. But if you have any questions, just put them down and say, what did you say then? A bit too quick for me or whatever. But that's basically it. Safety. What else can you do for safety? I can't think of anything at the moment. What else can you do? Always plan ahead, really, and don't try to deviate from your course. And always tell somebody where you're going, whether it be the hotel reception or your mum went back in wherever, or a friend back in wherever. Just say, this is what I'm going to be doing today. It's going to be fun and enjoy yourself. Just enjoy yourself. You shouldn't have to worry after I've said all these things. And you've checked them and you know what's going on. You shouldn't have to worry so much. Anyway, so it's good. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.